Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me tonight. There's a quote that I want to expand upon because it raises a really good point. We think we have an open society because we can criticize our government, but the company we work for has far more impact on our lives, and if you criticize them publicly, they will fire you. The private sphere is still run like a dictatorship by thousands of petty tyrants. And that's a good ass point. And this also touches on something where, lots of people talk about cancel culture and, oh, they were fired, they got them canceled. That's a company seeing someone become a financial liability and the company wants to cut ties with them. Cancel culture is a byproduct of capitalism, and yet not enough people are realizing that. So there's that little side note. But in terms of the whole, we think we're free because we can say things and we theoretically have more opportunity. The current capitalist system really limits people's choices. For example, if you're an American and you have private health care, there are only certain, in-network hospitals that you can go to. You are limited in your freedom to have your life saved. And if you or someone else screws up, you're footing the bill for that. Furthermore, think about how many jobs in America, because of poor public transit, how many jobs require a car to get around. So if your car breaks down or if you don't have a car, your ability to move on up the socioeconomic ladder is severely impeded in a lot of nations, mostly in North America and other places with lots of space like Australia, for instance. In Europe, they have pretty good rail networks and public transit, but for the rest of the West, it's a very big issue. Furthermore, in terms of, the whole thousands of petty tyrants, yeah, you can be fired on a whim for just about any reason. And this applies to someone whether they're a straight cis male or they're a black transgendered woman. You can be fired arbitrarily for any reason. It's, oh, look, we're not firing you because you're gay or trans or, brown or anything like that. It's because you forgot to actually sweep this one part of the floor plan last night. And yeah, that's more than a slap on the wrist. So you got to get out of here. Or it could be, you know what? We don't like this person. They're not a team player. They're talking about unionizing. And, oh, nope, got to get rid of that real quick. Case in point, Amazon routinely firing anyone who even mentions the word union. The idea of us being free when we aren't really free to dictate terms to our employers and the capitalist system around us brings into stark contrast the idea of us being free. Why does freedom only extend to the political sphere, in which many of us have limited participation in terms of it's not every day? We can't bring referendums to the forefront like they do in, say, Switzerland, for instance. It's only ever in the political sphere. And we only ever think about elections and the big important ones, right? So for Congress, for the president, for prime minister, for the chancellor, there's never really, hey, if we truly believe in democracy, we should democratize our workplaces. We should democratize the agricultural business. We should democratize courier workers and tech companies. And instead of listening to people in marketing teams and advertising agencies, talk with people on the ground about what they want and democratize what people want to consume on the TV, the radio, the internet. There is not as much freedom as we think we have. We have some pretty good ones, not gonna lie, and definitely a lot more than in many places in the global south. But in terms of true freedom, the freedom to, not have to worry about jobs and a roof over your head and not having to go through with a job you hate because there might not be other good paying jobs out there. There is, in that regard, a severe lack of freedom. And the fact that more of us aren't recognizing this or paying attention to the erosion of this is what's bothering me today.